Welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara DeFalco.
And I'm Mike Favetta. Our first guest is a 16-year finance veteran and mom of 3 teen girls who's on a mission to make money and investing topics relatable to women of all backgrounds.
She's developed an innovative curriculum that breaks down finance into approachable and fun classes. She's taught hundreds of women the art of building wealth, and together they have demolished bad debt, skyrocketed credit scores, and built the courage to fire financial advisors who just weren't cutting it. Please welcome Jessica Perrone, founder of HerFin IQ, to the show. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is our pleasure, and I am so excited about this topic because I have recently become interested in a financial education, something that I don't think, we really get in our school systems generally. Why did you want to start this company?
Well, it's interesting because a lot of women feel overwhelmed when it comes to investing and really don't know where to start. And believe it or not, before I was a finance geek, I too was a little overwhelmed when it came to investing. Because believe it or not, I'm the oldest of 8 children. We did not have the investing conversation because we barely had enough money for groceries. So what I'm trying to do here is create a curriculum that is really approachable for women. And it's been such a fun journey. I started off teaching my daughters how to invest. I taught my sisters how to invest. I taught my friends how to invest. And ultimately, it became a curriculum that is 3 parts. The first one is before investing. And then we have investing for beginners. And then my brand new course, which I'm so excited about, which is stocks and ETFs simplified.
Wow.
That sounds really great. So you have this, beginner, intermediate, advanced courses. Are there certain courses you'd say for the novice financial investor to start with? Or if, say, somebody has a little bit of background, would they want to jump into the intermediate course right away?
Well, it's interesting that you're asking that because the way I create my courses, they're all for beginners, and intermediate investors also can take away from the courses. I was just talking to a former student who's actually an accountant, and she said, "Oh my goodness, all of the courses help build my financial literacy and my confidence in investing as well." And sort of the way I have it laid out is my first course is before investing. And it really didn't start that way. I started off with investing for beginners, but I found a lot of women came to me with a considerable amount of credit card debt. And what I realized was that these women wanted to invest their way out of credit card debt. And that's really not how it works. It's sort of like going to Vegas and saying, oh, I'm going to gamble my way out of credit card debt. So I created before investing and I made up this term. It's called the financial ducks. And this is the financial foundation that you really want to get laid before you start investing. And that's what we cover in before investing.
Jessica, can you tell us, you mentioned people have debt, and I know I just heard some astronomical statistic about just Americans and credit card debt in general. Someone who's watching right now and they are in debt, but they know they've got to get out of it. What are like your top 3 things or like the first 3 steps they should take to start making that move to get out of debt?
Well, it's interesting that you're asking that question because I feel like the first step is just making a step. And that might sound overly simplified, but commit to changing where you are in your life. So that's pretty much step 1, step 2. And then once you commit to it, really look into your needs versus want, where you're spending your money. And once you sort of get an idea of, oh, I'm spending way too much on these wants and I really should rein back, because what you're trying to do is stay on budget. And so my third recommendation would be to get a budget tracker, a spending tracker like Mint. It's free. And you can start tracking what you're spending your monies on. And that in itself can really just open your eyes to what you're spending and how much you're spending. Because with credit cards, as we all know, it's so easy to just whip out a credit card at Sephora and say, oh, forget about that budget. I'm going to buy an extra eyeliner. So.
Absolutely.
Well, with some people that have curbed their spending, they're doing okay, they've minimized their debt, and they can still pay their bills month to month, but they want to start building wealth. What step do you think where they should start with your program?
So thank you so much for asking that. So I call that the surplus. You have gotten your financial ducks in a row and you have started with your surplus. And once you have created this surplus, there's really two things you want to think about. One is your risk tolerance, and the other is, okay, how am I going to put these monies to work? And that's what we talk about in the Investing for Beginners course. And we go through a long list of thought processes and feelings about investing and where we are in our lives. And depending on our risk tolerance, where we are, and also our attitude about whether or not we want to manage this ourselves or have someone else manage it, whether it's for investing or whether it's a little bit recreational, all of these come together to try to figure out where you want to invest your monies.
I love that. And Jessica, you just kind of, I love that you touched on the emotional aspect of money. And I know that you focus on women, and I imagine women maybe have a more of an emotional tie to just about everything, including their money. Do you find when it comes to investing that women, are they, I'm trying to think how I want to phrase this. Are they like more conscious? I know for me, like when I think about investing money and I'm like, I would love to put my money behind companies or brands that are doing good things for the planet, that take good care of their people, that, do you find that with some of the clients that you work with, that there's I guess an ethical side that they want to include in their investing?
Absolutely, absolutely. And believe it or not, that's where ETFs can come in as well. So ETFs are basically baskets of stocks, and you can have themed ETFs as well. So if you are an individual and you want to do some social good, you can choose ETFs that sort of align with your investing philosophy as well. And people think ETFs are boring, and they're really not. They're really exciting. And I am a finance geek. I'm completely a finance geek, but there's so many cool things you can do with stocks and ETFs. Another concept that I teach in my stocks and ETFs course is how to look at your environment, look around you, and look at the world in terms of investing opportunities. And yes, so you can, if you do want to start doing self-directed investing, say, there is a company out there and you're really interested in investing it, but you're not quite sure how to do it. You've already been contributing to your 401k, and you're like, you know what? I want to start sort of dabbling in self-directed investing. Well, we also lay the foundation for that in the Stocks ETFs Simplified course.
I love it. I love it. It all sounds like great stuff. Jessica, where can folks find out more about you and your courses?
Well, so my social media handle is HerFinIQ, and the same with my website. It's www.herfiniq.com. And for women that don't know where to start, I do have a fun Cosmo style quiz. It's not boring, trust me, it is fun, and you can kind of gauge where you are at with your investing knowledge and which course potentially might be a good fit for you and your life stage.
I love me a good online quiz. Jessica, thank you so much for your time this morning. We so appreciate it, and for educating people about finances. It's something that's so needed. Thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Have a great weekend.
Let's see you.
Mikey, I don't know about you, but for me, I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm like, I don't know how to be investing on my own. I don't know, how I'm paying off this debt. And it's one of these things that doesn't really get taught, and I'm finding more and more that I am also interested in. I'm like, hey, some people know how to do this.
Well, it's absolutely true, especially as we enter tax season. You hear a lot of those investments. You go on social media and you have even some of the comedians saying, wish we learned about this stuff in school. How to
Right.
fill out tax forms, how to invest. There's also that funny kind of tongue-in-cheek term, girl math. Well,
Yes.
if you don't buy this, you return all of the clothes you bought, you're actually saving money. Well,
Absolutely. If I got free shipping, I saved money.
I think guy math goes right along with that. So
Does it?
we're not
Okay, good.
excluding. But yes, in that case, it is important to learn about investing. And you also have many people that are either millennials or Gen X who are leaving the corporate world that kind of do all that investing for you as part of your paycheck and going out and being entrepreneurs on their own. It's very important, obviously, to have some sort of
Even
nest
more
egg and watch
critical to
that
know what
grow.
you're doing there. Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely.
Totally.
Whew.
So all important stuff. So thank you to Jessica. You're watching the New Jersey Morning Show here on New Jersey. You can find us online, onnj.com, or on Roku and Fire TV.